Good morning, everyone, and happy St. Patrick's Day. I'd like to call the meeting to order. On behalf of CAAR, I would like to call this meeting to order and welcome you to the virtual March General Membership Meeting. Our program today will include the annual induction of members into the CAAR Professional Honor Society and the announcements of our annual award honorees and Good Neighbor Award recipient. To begin today's meeting, join me in reciting the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge of allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Now we will be moving on to the approval of the minutes from the February 3rd meeting. The minutes were included in the handouts link you received in your reminder email and are also available in the chat box in your Zoom toolbar. Are there any additions or corrections to the distributed minutes? If so, please submit your feedback using the chat box in your Zoom toolbar. Let's see. All right. I am not seeing anything in the chat. So if not, they stand approved as distributed. Thank you. At this time, I would like for us to acknowledge CAAR's antitrust statement. This statement ensures that we are encouraging discussions that promote all realtors and does not restrict competition among members or potential members. We work to foster a forum for open discussions of diverse opinions without attempting in any way to encourage or sanction any business practice. The CAAR antitrust statement will be acknowledged before every CAAR meeting. For a full copy of the antitrust statement, please reference today's handouts. We are extremely grateful to our sponsors for stepping up and helping us provide this great program. Our presenting sponsor is the Virginia Credit Union, and the Good Neighbor Award sponsor is Rose Dahmer of Home Warranty. We value the professionalism, service, and support of our affiliates to CAAR and to its members. Since you are not able to visit with these sponsors in person today, please review the handouts to learn more about these companies. At this time, I would like to invite Mark Creason of Virginia Credit Union to share a few words. All right. Is Mark here? It looks like Mark may not be available. Today's meeting is all about promoting professionalism, but wait, what does professionalism mean to you? All of us have different ways to define professionalism. Perhaps professionalism means that you earned a designation certification. It may mean behavior, such as waiting your turn for a showing to end and not interrupting the showing appointment ahead of you. Perhaps you see professionalism as a way of attending a certain amount of association events and classes. To help you understand the many facets of professionalism, we will conduct an in-depth discussion with an esteemed group of members. At this time, I would like to invite our moderator and panelists to turn on their cameras and unmute. I would like to welcome Reeves Bailey of Montague, Miller and Company, who will be our moderator, James Dickerson of Charlottesville Solutions, Michael Guthrie of Howard Hanna Roy Wheeler and Company, Erin Cardo-Cersei of Story House Real Estate, Jessica Russo of Nest Realty Group, and Arlene Yobbs of Nest Realty Group. I'm pleased to share that 3 of our panelists are past presidents of CAAR, Reeves, Michael, and Arlene. Reeves, I'll hand the meeting over to you.
Thanks, Pam. I'm delighted to be here this morning, and in honor of St. Patrick's Day, most of us at least are wearing green, so good morning, everybody. So professionalism is an extremely important part of our business. It is something that we all strive for. It is something that is critically important in many respects. And so we want to do a deeper dive into that and get some people's thoughts and ideas on it. So I'm going to pose questions to each of our panelists, but then give each of the panelists also a chance to respond and add to what previous people have said. And hopefully we'll all come away with this with a deeper understanding of professionalism. And so without spending too much time talking in advance, I'd like to begin by throwing all the panel members a slight curveball. I'm going to start with Erin on this and just ask her to, before we get into definitions of professionalism, give me a word that is a component of professionalism. And I'm going to go around the panel until you guys run out of words to use. So with that, Erin, would you start? Give me a word that is a component of professionalism.
I would say communication would be mine.
Right, and Tom, you're supposed to be writing these down as well, so I'm going to rely on you to do that quickly. Jessica.
Good morning. I'd say quality.
Michael.
Servant-hearted.
I'll let you get away with that and say it's one word.
It's got a hyphen in it.
Okay. Jim.
Respect.
Okay, Arlene.
Good morning, everyone. How about trust?
Let me just make sure I'm getting everybody here. Okay, back to the beginning. Erin, give me another one.
How about integrity?
Jessica.
Training.
Say that again.
Training.
Training. Okay. Michael.
Knowledgeable.
Jim.
Business.
All right. Arlene.
Advocacy.
Let's see. All right. Back to the beginning. All right. Erin again.
Oh, goodness. Information.
Okay. Jessica.
A third one, huh?
Yeah. It's okay if you don't have. Say that again.
Proper conduct.
Conduct. Okay. Michael.
Willing.
All right. Jim.
Golden rule. It's hyphenated like Michael's first one.
Okay, good. We'll use that. And Arlene.
Reputation.
Okay. So I'm not going to really challenge you all and go for a fourth round here. So we'll use those words as a basis. So now, considering all of those words that you have said are components of professionalism, Erin, I'm going to start with you and say, give me an actual definition of professionalism.
Okay. I thought about this a lot last night because I think the current climate of our market is probably making all of us have to we should always pay attention to it, but pay a little bit more attention to what it actually means in our interactions with each other and with our clients. So I feel like it's, for me, the definition would be that you are competent at your job. You exhibit integrity with all of your interactions, whether it's with other agents or it's with your clients, that you are able to be flexible, which I think is something that is for sure important in this market. Communication is super important. So being able to communicate really well with, with your clients and with fellow agents, lenders, all the people that are involved in the process, and just being super able to show that we are following the code of ethics at all times. And I think that that pathways to professionalism document that Allie attached on the email is very, like, everybody should read it, because it is an amazing example of what it means to be a professional.
Other panelists, do you have something to add to that? I'm not going to ask for complete definitions necessarily, unless you have something more that you want to add. Michael?
I wrote down striving to be knowledgeable and open-minded, a problem solver versus problem maker, collaborating versus being adversarial.
I think those are great, great words to use, or great thoughts to have in there as well. Other panelists, do you have other things to add there? Arlene?
I would just say professionalism to me is sort of a behavioral concept. It's how we conduct ourselves at the highest level, as Aaron said, and it is composed of many components. As it pertains to us as realtors, it really is tied in heavily with the code of ethics.
Okay, thank you. Jim or Jessica, do you have anything more that you wanted to add to that?
I just wanted to say that it's, the conduct and training to do a job well, and the practice of accepted qualities consistently. So as Aaron referenced, consistently doing it, consistently having quality professionalism, even in different markets and tough times.
Mm-hmm. And certainly this is an interesting market to be working in for all of us. And there's a lot of professionalism is very much on display in our day-to-day activities. Jim, anything else you wanted to add?
No, I'm good.
Okay. Second question. So when we say that somebody's professionalism is on display, who is it on display to? And Jessica, I'm going to start with you on that question.
Sure. Besides ourselves, to our colleagues that we're working with, our professionalism is on display to everyone. How we conduct ourselves reflects all of us, to our clients, to our vendor partners and affiliates, and to other realtor associations, and our community near and far.
Okay, thank you. Others, do you have something to add to that?
I think there's one area we often overlook, and that's social media. So sometimes when we're on social media, we don't realize the world's watching and see us as realtors and how we're representing the realtor community.
Okay, others? All right, well, third question. So when is that professionalism on display? So we've talked about who it's on, what it is, who it's on display to. Now, when is it on display? And when is it not on display potentially? So Jim, I'm going to go to you with that question.
All right. When I was thinking about the answer to this one, I went back a few years ago, and like many realtors, I had my name and phone number and website and everything all over my truck. So everywhere I went, everybody knew I was a realtor. And I was having lunch with a friend one day, and he said he never could do that because he loves to run stop signs and speed a little bit, and do some things he may not, shouldn't be doing. But if he had his name on there, then everybody would be watching all the time and knew who it was. So I think it's 24/7 when we should have our professionalism on display. It never really should be turned off because people are always watching us.
Others, Michael?
Yeah, I absolutely agree with Jim on that. And, you think about this business as a lifestyle versus a business. Everything we do is about being a realtor. Whether you're coaching kids on the sideline, whether you're cutting people off on the road, whether you're volunteering someplace, whatever the case may be, you act in accordance with the fact that you're trying to be the best person that you can be, because If you don't, person says, oh, that person's a realtor, man, I'd never use them. And therefore we've got to be, just constantly trying to be the best that we can be, which quite honestly it's a great motivator to try to live our lives better.
Other panel members, more to add?
I think going back to what Jim said about social media earlier, I think that that's a big thing that we all need to be super aware of. And it's not just, it's not just posts about our houses that we're selling or, events that we're attending or designations that we've received. It's, things that you're posting on a Saturday night that, maybe aren't appropriate, probably aren't appropriate just in general, but really aren't appropriate when you're a realtor, because there are eyes on us, I feel like, that maybe aren't as on in other professions. And that code of ethics and how we are supposed to behave translates into every day. It's not just when we're out with clients or in the office.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. Arlene or Jessica?
I totally agree with what Aaron said. Everyone, actually, it's our 24/7, just about. In fact, I guess there is a question coming up perhaps about how often we don't have our professionalism on display, but it's hard to think of a time when it's not.
Yeah, and that is a component of this question. When is your professionalism not on display? I mean, personally, the only time, excuse me, I can think of is when you're absolutely alone, perhaps in your own house and nobody's watching. Now, I will also go back to, I believe it's, I don't know who originally said it, but Steve Garland, who's the wrestling coach at UVA, has a phrase that he tells his wrestlers, and it's, "You are who you are when no one's watching." And so I think that this is something that not only has to be something you show, but it's something that you internalize and try to live. So I wanted to add a couple of things. Jim, I'm completely with you on what you said about having magnets on the side of your car. I would never do that. I'm not a terrible driver and I don't run stop signs, but I drive 29 a lot, and we'll leave it at that. But I also know of some contractors out there with different companies, construction companies and various other things, who I would not use because of the behavior I've seen them display on the road. And that has nothing to do with the quality of their work, but it certainly says something about their attitude. So there are times where you don't mean to be on display, but you are. And then secondly, on social media, I'll add, when you consider the new article in, or the new standard of practice in Article 10 of the Code of Ethics, you are always on display, and what you do at any time can be considered an ethical violation. So it's not just what you post. You might be at a party and doing something that's a little bit, marginal, or wearing clothing that is not appropriate for one reason or another, and somebody tags you in it. It's now been posted on social media, and potential is there for your professionalism to be damaged. So think about that and what you do. You are always a realtor. You're always wearing that hat. What does the realtor name mean to you, and why is it important? And I'm going to direct that one to Arlene.
Thanks, Reeves. I guess the short answer is something like a realtor is a licensed real estate salesperson who also belongs to the National Association of Realtors, which is the largest trade group in the country. But I'd like to just expand on that a little bit. Following the NAR Code of Ethics is a big part of what makes us a realtor and not an ordinary real estate licensee. One of the things we do when we join the realtor associations is to agree to abide by the Code of Ethics. And the Code of Ethics is the higher standard that we agree to hold ourselves to. And we've been talking about this already with some of the other answers. It requires us to have a more professional attitude in every aspect of our business and oftentimes our personal life. And why is this important? anytime that I find myself in an uncomfortable situation, or I'm not sure what direction to turn to with a client or a colleague, or in a situation, a transaction, or dealing even with the public, I turn my attention to the Code of Ethics, because it is our guide to help us see the way and to keep our standards as high as possible. And it helps us to just be more cooperative with each other in our day-to-day, everything from phone calls to showing property to transactions, especially as competitive as things are right now. And it helps us we can remind our clients of how we are held to that standard through the Code of Ethics. It helps us in every situation. Thank you.
Thank you. Other panel members, is there something you want to add to that?
When I think of the Realtor name, I think of competitors working together for the betterment of everyone. And it also makes me think of RPAC for some reason every time I hear the word Realtor.
I completely agree with you, Jen. That's an extremely important component to me of what we do. Others?
Yeah, I'll
Michael?
piggyback on what Jim just said in regards to that, and the word was used during the round robin there, advocacy. We need to remember that just as realtors, it's not about just buying and selling and helping people rent properties, but it's also advocating for people's property rights. And our association has had an incredible history of doing that, and continue along that journey. And so Jim, thanks for bringing that up, because we as realtors are out there every day trying to help our community, civic engagement, politicians do a better job of advocating for property rights for everyone.
Others? So I'll throw in one other thought. We're all pretty familiar with now the Board of Insurance issue with respect to settlement agents. I mean, I know we've been hammered with that, but thanks to our RPAC contributions and the work of Martin and various others down at VAR and going to the legislature, we were able to introduce legislation at the absolute last moment related to clarifications on the Board of Insurance and role of attorneys and things like that in the settlement process, and got it passed by both the House and Senate. So, it's the RPAC dollars at work that enable us to do that. RPAC is not supporting a party. It is going after issues that are important to us and property rights. So if you're not a contributor, please become one. Anything else on the Realtor name? I'm going to throw a slight curveball question to all of you and say, well, how do you look around the Commonwealth of Virginia and you say, okay, well, in Charlottesville, we're virtually all Realtor members here. But when I look at the Tidewater area, as much as 25 to 30% of the MLS participants, and so active real estate practitioners, are not Realtors. They are real estate licensees. How would that impact our business, and what would that do to our views of professionalism? So this is my curveball question to you. Who would like to start with that one, or would anybody? You're going to make me call on somebody.
I would just like to piggyback on that too, because I thought about that as I was thinking about how I wanted to answer the question. And I'm very, very proud of our association here at CAAR, and that we are all Realtors who are members of CAAR, and for the most part within our community. And we do set the standard very high, but it makes our job easier. And I'm very happy and thankful that I've had the opportunity to serve this community in Virginia. And I wouldn't choose another area for anything. So that's just my 2 cents, but doesn't really answer your question.
No, that's okay. I'm not saying that there is an answer to this question.
Yeah.
Anybody else want to add anything?
Well, I think the obvious answer is that you're not all playing by the same rules. You know, in that situation, you're dealing with people that don't have, you know, the code of ethics as a basis. And that's not to say that those people aren't ethical. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying they're not professional. I'm just saying that you're now in a situation where you deal with one person, you know that they're going to buy it in a certain way. In another situation, they're not bound by that, and so you're not sure.
Anybody else? So I'll throw in one thing that, you know, for those of us that have been involved at the state level, even though, you know, you look around, I know we all have our challenges and headaches and working with each other and various other things in the Charlottesville area, but Charlottesville is considered a very bright spot in terms of our professionalism and our approach to professionalism around the Commonwealth. So CAAR is looked at in very high esteem from around the Commonwealth. And I think that Arlene and Michael can certainly attest to that as well, having been involved at the state level. So, and that's even true at the national level. We have a reputation of having a great association. Not that we don't have room for improvement, we always do, but we are considered a bright spot. Last question or planned question. So this is a meeting about professionalism. We have a lot of members of the Honor Society in this meeting. We have annual award winners. We have many past award recipients and top producing agents that are on this meeting. So I'm looking down at the participants. There's 106 people at this meeting, which is great. That's an outstanding number. But are we preaching to the choir here and talking about professionalism? If that is the case, how do we get this message out to those that maybe aren't engaged in this particular topic, that are members of CAAR or Realtor members of the organization? And Michael, I'm going to turn that question over to you to start.
I'm going to answer the question, you know, from a broker's perspective. A number of folks on the panel, and obviously a bunch of people that are here, are Realtor associates. And, you know, the first thing I'd say, going back to, you know, when is professionalism on display? I learned a good long while ago from my friend Corbin Snow that to be very, very careful when you own a company because, you know, what you do, what you say, how you act can impact the people that you have working with you. And I don't think Corbin would mind me telling this story, but his dad was a county board of supervisor back in the what was it called? The county parkway, the Western County Parkway, whatever that thing was called that was supposed to
bypass, the Western bypass.
Thank you, Western bypass. And he voted for it. And Corbin got a call one day at the office, and the guy said, "Look, I've been doing business with your company for 40 years, but I'm going to take my business elsewhere because your dad is in support of the Western bypass." And Corbin said, "You know, my dad's been retired for years. You know, why would you do that?" And he said, "Well, I just believe strongly, blah, blah, blah." So that's certainly that person's right, you know, to make a decision, you know, with their wallet. But I learned a lesson at that point that I would never have a political bumper sticker on my car because I'm the broker. And as we all know, whatever bumper sticker I have, half the people feel the opposite. and may see that bumper sticker and say, "I'll never work with that company because the broker has such and such on their car." And so I learned that that lesson from Corbin, and I really appreciated that. But in adding to the answer, again, as a broker, when you look at the participants here, most of us, we can look down this list and we know most of the people that are in this room, and we know that they're professional. Or, you know, we've had transactions with them, we've seen them, that kind of thing. And our job, these 106 people, our job is to get another 100, you know, involved. And so just some quick things from a broker's perspective. On my office training calendar, I always have the CAAR events listed on there. It's not just about the things that we're doing in our company, but it's the training that Teresa's doing, you know, GRI, Women Council Realtors, Young Professional Network. I've got those on there because I want my people to feel like those things are important enough to be there. And hopefully it encourages some of them to get involved. And then that's the second thing. we all need to be encouraging others to get involved. We've already been talking about RPAC. You know, we all should be involved in RPAC. We all should try to figure out a task force, a committee that we can be on at CAAR, because one, we're going to meet other people. We're going to build relationships with those people. So when we're across the table from them, that transaction is going to go smoother because we have a relationship with each other. And for those of you who are brand new that are watching this, there are things that you can commit to that are short term. You don't have to be on something that's for the whole year. You reach out to Allie or Tiffany or Abby, you know, at CAAR, and they can help you. You know, Pam and the officers of the association, they can help you find a place that you've got some skill set that you can help. Plus, the things that we do for AHIP and for Blue Ridge Area Food Bank and things like that. There are all sorts of ways that you can get involved and begin to meet other realtors. So again, encouraging others to get involved. And then finally, we need to lead by example. And then we've already been talking about that, you know, throughout this morning. You know, I have an attitude of together we win. Together we win. And those of you that know me and follow me, you know that my word for the year is unity. And the word for unity is, the way I break it down is uncompromised, never-ending intensity toward yes. And when I think about that word and when I think about those words, it means when we're together going forward in the same direction, we may not all agree. We may all have different, you know, situations, but we all want to get someplace. We've got a much better chance of getting there. You know, Tony Bennett, you know, quotes it all the time. You know, if you want to go fast, go along. If you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. And so staying focused on the positive, knowing that the outcome is not about proving that you're right, but making sure your client gets what they want in the transaction. So that's what I got.
Thank you, Michael. Others? Oh, come on. I know that you got something to say. So one of the components, go ahead, Arlene.
You know, I was thinking about that word involved a little bit as you were talking, Michael, and I love being involved myself. But for those that are concerned about being involved, I like to think in terms of your networking with, you know, getting, you know, you're getting involved, but you're networking with others and being engaged in the community or the association or with your colleagues, or you're mentoring someone in the business. All of these different things that we do helps our professionalism, and it helps us to just stay. Someone told me when I first got into the business, either you're green and growing or you're ripe and rotten. And I have to say, you know, after all these years, I'm definitely ripe, but I refuse to rot, at least, you know, as far as education, staying engaged, being mindful of new, of the trends in the industry, trying to stay on top of everything, and just really getting to relationship building, back to these, thinking of it as relationships that we have with our vendors, our realtors, our community partners, everyone, so that it becomes more enjoyable and we have fun doing it while we're working in this crazy frenzied market.
Anybody else want to chime in?
Reeves, Ann Burroughs asked a question, so you might want to let people.
I'm going to get to questions. I'm going to get to questions in just a second. So a couple of things that I wanted to add to this. Number one, we all run into problems with others that maybe aren't acting or whatever the way that we would hope. And I think this may be, is this Ann's question? He's bring back professionalism transaction. Yeah, so this is really speaking to Ann's comment to a certain extent that, you know, we have formal pathways when professionalism is not on display. We have enforcement of the code of ethics and filing of complaints. And I know people don't like to do that, but having served on a lot of panels, even if somebody is not found in violation of the code of ethics, it's a huge learning opportunity for everybody involved. And so it's not necessarily a bad thing to file a complaint, even though it may not actually turn into something. But we have other pathways, obviously person to person. If you have a problem with somebody's professionalism, you can bring it up directly. You can bring it up broker to broker. So, you know, Michael and I have conversations from time to time about questions that might arise. So there are a lot of different things that can be done that can help us grow professionally, but inviting others that maybe aren't engaged. So to dovetail on what Arlene said, inviting others to become engaged with the association, whether it's committees or whether it's attendance at meetings or whatever, that person-to-person contact is really important. One comment that was thrown out was by Michelle, and she talked about road rage and driving if you've got your Realtor emblem on your license plate. Yeah, don't do that. Don't drive like that. Michael, I agree with you. Don't put political stickers on your car because you might alienate others. You know, it's absolutely fine for people to be, you know, active politically, but I even hesitate a little bit. I have a little UVA sticker on the back of my car, but I feel like I should have also a Virginia Tech sticker on the back, just so I don't, because at least half of this community is Virginia Tech grads or fans. So maybe that's something I need to do, just as a thought. So with all of that, I'm going to now open it up for questions. If anybody has questions and would like to post it, I will take a look over there and see if we have questions that need to be answered. So I will read Ann's question. What are some of the techniques you use to bring back professionalism in a transaction when faced with a realtor on the other side who is acting unprofessionally? So panel members, do you have any answers for that one?
I think in our company, we're very big on just killing with kindness. So even in the face of somebody being not as kind, I think that, you know, that's a huge focus for us. And I think that with the newer agents on our team, we kind of hammer that home too. So we just respond with smiles a lot of the time, even though you maybe aren't feeling as smiley on the inside, but that's the part of the golden rule too. So hopefully the more we do that, we'll see it in practice with other folks on the other side.
Okay. Anybody else want to add to that? So Ann, I appreciate your question. I think that that's always something, if we're going to grow together professionally, then we need to be talking to each other. We need to be sort of modeling professionalism, even when professionalism isn't being modeled to us. So I think that's sort of a restatement of what Aaron's saying. I know that there's the code of ethics out there. I always wonder whether there's an anonymous tip line that you can nominate people that maybe need a little bit of training, and then they get these anonymous little tips. I don't think we're going to actually do that, just so you know. Question that came in, could CAAR maybe develop some training on professionalism based on complaints and violations? And the answer is we do have training based on that, more in the ethics arena, but I think that we could perhaps do a better job of letting people know what that training is about and maybe steer it more towards professionalism. Does anybody else have something they want to add to that? Okay, and I'm not seeing any more questions here. Could we maybe have all right, so coming in from Sasha, could we maybe have a couple seconds on professionalism during showing in terms of locking doors, keeping up with children, what is or is not acceptable in a house during showing? Who would like to take that one on? Aaron, you're excluded.
I'd say that that's just following just basic common courtesy and following instructions as given. But yes, it's important to model the respect that we need to have as we're walking through the homes with our clients. Model the respect and integrity of their home as they would want done to them, and as we would want to have done to our listings also.
Okay, anybody else? I'll throw out a couple of thoughts. One is, how would you want those people to behave in your house? And if they're not behaving in the way that you would want them behaving in your house, then you're not doing your job. You know, I think I'm going to flip that question around. Also, oh, Teely said exactly the same thing. So thank you, Teely. I'm going to flip that question around and saying we also have a responsibility to let our sellers know that we can't always control and we can't promise that everybody else will model the correct behavior. So I always tell them that think about your house as being shown to a family with 2 or 3 year old triplets, and they're running through the house with their arms stretched out like this. You need to sort of have your house prepared for that type of thing. So don't set your sellers up for failure either. Be realistic with them, be honest with them, and have them prepared for their house being shown. I think that that's, you know, setting expectations is an important thing.
Eves, one other thing that I'd say in regard to what Sasha's saying is obviously, Jessica, you know, with the common courtesy for sure. But the other thing I think is important in this situation is people are going to make mistakes. Most of the people, you know, aren't doing it on purpose. And so don't call their broker, you know, call the agent themselves and say, hey, this happened. Can you explain to me what happened? Whatever. Can you please, you know, try to not let it happen again. And if they, you know, blow you off or, you know, you tell you don't know what you're talking about, whatever, well, then, yeah, you can escalate it to go to your broker or whatever the case may be. But I again, just the golden rule of if we can go in a friendly manner of saying, hey, this happened, I just want to find out what happened and whatever to that person is going to be much less defensive than if all of a sudden that person's getting a call from their manager saying, hey, such and such just called and said this happened. You know, go to the individual first, and then if you have to escalate it to the manager, fine. And then like Reeve said earlier, we do have pathways if it's a, you know, a habitual type of scenario where somebody needs to be, you know, challenged on. Thank you,
Michael. A couple of comments that were made, and then we'll wrap up. But I've got to scroll down here over on the chat section.
Reeve, while you're doing that, I'd just like to piggyback on that last on Sasha's question, thinking in terms of showing property. As realtors, we're representing buyers and we're looking at all of these listings in the MLS, and each one has different showing instructions or no showing instructions, or you know, there's a lot of space there for realtor comments, for the listing agent comments. And I think that if we as listing agents could utilize that space and be as explicit as possible in terms of, obviously, if you're making the appointments for showing time, you're doing that, etc. But how to leave the house? Do you want you know, some of the appointments are for 15 minutes, some overlap, some are 30 minutes, some are an hour. And so you want to know through the listing agent, when you go and show that home, what is expected of you. And that's the best way to explain to everyone. I find myself oftentimes I'm connecting with the listing agent to verify, do you want the lights left on? Is someone else showing the property? You know, that sort of thing. What else do I need to know about the house before I show it? So I think that we could all help each other out a lot more by, in our listings, really taking advantage of that space and putting as much information as possible.
Thanks, Arlene. So a couple of comments that came in. I think Ann made a really good point. Explaining and setting expectations with your buyers before you go into a property on how perhaps they should behave if they have kids or something like that with you. But setting expectations and explaining to people what is acceptable and that sort of thing as you go in and look at properties. Ashley threw in a good comment about some strategies to deal with kids. And Lisa threw in a good comment about, you know, you don't know what other people are going through when you're showing property, when they're selling, when they're moving, all of those kinds of things. So kindness is a really important thing. And Arlene, on your point, I think, you know, letting people know what are the real expectations that are there in terms of showings and showing activity and behavior and all. So I'm going to wrap up by saying just a couple of different things. Number one, we will be posting a couple of links to things that we think are great. A link to the Code of Ethics. So if there's two things that I could encourage everybody to do and encourage others to do, number one, it's read the Code of Ethics. It doesn't take very long. It takes you 20 minutes to sit down and read the Code of Ethics, and do that twice a year. It will improve your view of professionalism tremendously. Secondly, there's an Appendix D that's called Pathways to Professionalism. We'll have a link to that also, and that is an outstanding document that goes beyond the Code of Ethics and really just talks about sort of expectations and behaviors and things like that, and things to think about with respect to professionalism for all of us. So I would encourage you all to read that carefully, even print it out and post it on the wall in front of you. It'd be a great thing to do. Tom, you raised your hand.
I did, Reeves. We have a question from Pat Woodhelm. I don't know if you have time to address it, but I wanted to bring it to your attention. It's in the Q&A section. If you like, I'll read it.
Go ahead.
Okay. Pat says, a few years ago, we had a general complaint presented to the association that firms that did not offer full service brokerage and agents that were not full-time were not professional. Would you comment on this, please?
Anybody want to take that one?
Take it. For those that have that sort of business model, and there are several that I know, I feel like they're as professional as anybody out there in the marketplace. And so, my response, if I heard that, would be, I know this person, I know this person, I know this person, and I've never had anything but professional interactions with them.
Anybody else? Well, thank you all for your time. Again, we're running a little bit long on our segment, I think, but not too much, maybe just a couple of minutes. So thank you to the panel members, and thank you all to those who are on this meeting and are going to be receiving awards today. So we appreciate your being here, and we appreciate all that you do. So Pam, back to you.
Excellent perspectives. It's extremely important for the role of a realtor to be professional. In such a competitive market, please treat each other with respect, be transparent, and communicate with one another. We owe it to our clients to provide the best service possible. Panelists, we can't thank you enough for being with us today. Reeves, thank you for navigating such an important discussion. I would like to mention again the National Association of Realtors Pathways to Professionalism, and that's included in your handouts. The pathways address issues of courtesy and etiquette, and specifically outline areas of respect for the public, respect for property, and respect for your peers. Please reference them now and often. Next, I would like to hand the meeting to Rose Dahmer of Home Warranty. She will announce the second 2021 Good Neighbor Award recipient.
Thank you very much, Pam. I feel very fortunate to be able to sponsor such a respected award. Before I reveal the recipient, I would like to share how Home Warranty Inc. can help you and your clients. Home Warranty Inc. has been around since 1999. We are currently in 38 states and A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau because of our customer reviews. We have the 2 call centers, Rock Rapids, Iowa, Sioux Falls, South Dakota. Our best and most popular home protection plan is the 14-month home warranty plan. It covers 20 items, 2 HVAC systems, whether these systems are 2 heating and 2 cooling, or just 2 heat pumps, for the cost of $575 with a $100 agent discount being applied. Your cost would be the $475. There's also a $100 service fee deductible per an item. Your buyers also have the option of choosing their local service providers for diagnosis and repairs. These go hand in hand with the home insurance policies, and they make great closing gifts. If I can help anybody, feel free to reach out to me. No, I'm here to help. Now on to the awards presentation. The CAAR Good Neighbor Award the CAAR Good Neighbor Award honors a Realtor member for significant time and interest he or she is dedicated to a local nonprofit or charitable organization. The award includes recognition at a general membership meeting, a press release, and a $500 donation to the organization for which his or her work is being recognized. Now, before we announce this recipient, please watch and hear what some associates had to say about the second 2021 Good Neighbor Award honoree.
I think it's really important for realtors to be involved in the community they serve because we're trying to build a better community. You know, a house is just a house, but a home is something where we really enjoy where we live, what we do, and how we give back. And I think realtors play a big part in that and making sure the community is a better place for all of us to live. Yeah, the nominee has recruited well over 1,000 hours during the year to support the organization.
We are the Fluvanna SPCA. SPCA is Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Animals. Our mission is to help neglected, homeless, abandoned, stray animals in the Fluvanna County region. We are a no-kill facility as well. We try our best not to euthanize anyone.
The recipient has donated to the organization by building flower arrangements for various events that they have at the FSPCA. The recipient has shared stories where she's taken some of the shelter animals hundreds of miles away to drop off at different shelters using her own personal vehicle or personal time.
One in particular, she took a Great Pyrenees to West Virginia and it chewed up her seats, but she was more than happy to take them there. And she's also done different events with us as well.
The recipient has personally raised over $200,000 in the calendar year for the organization.
And she's helped a lot of people, myself included. She's helped been a true guidance to me since I've been there in this position. And I'm sure other board members as well. She's helped recruited a lot of board members onto the board.
Well, Jerry, we want to say congratulations, a well-deserved award, and we're all very proud of you.
Congratulations, Jerry, you deserve it. You've done so much for everyone around you.
Like to officially congratulate CAAR's second 2021 Good Neighbor Award recipient, Jerry Russell from Avenue Realty. Jerry, would you like to say a few words? We can take you off mute.
Here I am. Hi, everybody. I'm so honored. I don't know if you all can hear me, but I'm very honored for this. I've worked really hard helping the SPCA. It's been a worthy cause over these last 5 years, and I'll continue to do it.
Wonderful. Congratulations again. Pam, I'm handing the meeting back over to you.
Okay, thank you, Rose.
Thank you, Pam.
As we continue our award ceremonies, we'll now pay tribute to a hardworking and dedicated group of local realtors who are dedicated to the real estate profession and are leaders in the realtor community. 2021 marks the 26th consecutive year of the CAAR Honor Society for 6 members. It is also the first year for 2 members. Here to announce the newest inductees in the CAAR Professional Honor Society is President-elect S. Lisa Herndon. S. Lisa, I hand the meeting over to you.
Thank you, Pam. And I'm having computer problems, so I'm going to disconnect from my phone. That was my backup plan. So, you know, sometimes as you are a leader, you need to just move on the spot. You know, you just need to react and just adjust. So again, thank you, Pam. Good morning, everyone. It is my pleasure to be here and to celebrate this special occasion. Whether you are new to real estate profession or have been around for years, the Professional Honor Society is a great accolade to achieve every year. The CAAR Professional Honors has been in existence since 1996. Today, we're going to recognize 47 individuals for their standards of excellence in 2021. So in total, we have had 196 realtors from CAAR that have achieved this honor since the program began. What does it take to be a part of the Professional Honor Society? Well, I'm going to tell you. It takes attending valuable association meetings such as this one, the generalship meeting that you're enjoying today, participating in other real estate education activities such as classes, designations, certifications, and even the leadership academies. Volunteering on a local, state, and national committees, or even activities within the community. So, and success in either your production of sales or the ability to serve as a managing broker also counts towards these goals. When you put all the criteria together, the outcome is a well-rounded professional committed to raising the bar for our entire industry and serving as a role model to other members and the community. To be respectful of everybody's time, and I need to catch up a little bit, honorees will be shown on the screen, and I will only read the names of members who have achieved a milestone of 5, 10, 5, 15, 20, and 25 years. While you review the list of honorees in the class, I will also sprinkle a little fun facts about the Professional Honor Society. So let's get started. The first group has earned the Professional Honor Society designation between 1 to 4 years. Did you know the total amount of points a member must obtain for the Professional Honor Society is 75? This might sound a little intimidating, but I assure you that most of your activities that you're already doing every day out in the community and within the association, you get credit for. All right, so next, congratulations to the following members who have hit a 5-year milestone. That includes myself, S. Lisa Herndon, and Aaron Cottos Searcy, Cabina Martin, Amanda Spagone, and Josh White. The next group of esteemed honorees have been in the program for 6 to 9 years. Did you know the Professional Honor Society evolved around an award that used to be called Top Producers? Now, after some evaluation and listening to the feedback from members, we decided to add more aspects of that, more criteria around that, such as involvement in the community, professional development, and volunteering and leadership were added to the criteria. So next, I'd like to recognize members who have achieved 11 to 14 honorable years. Our next honorees have reached a 15-year milestone in this program, this prestigious program. So I'd like to say congratulations to Denise Ramey, our Virginia Realtor president. She's the current president. I'm privileged to also recognize the following members who have achieved 16 to 19 years of commitment to the professional of excellence. Our next honorees have reached a 20-year milestone in this program. So I want to congratulate Pat Crabtree, Donna Patton, Sue Pelaskin, and Greg Slater. Next, the following honorees have achieved 21 to 24 years of professional excellence. Also, did you know the largest class of Professional Honor Society honorees was in 2005 with 78 members? We have our sets high to achieve a lot in 2022. So let's add the accomplishments of exceeding that record of 78 for the Professional Honor Society members. I know we can do it. Our next honorees has reached a 25-year milestone in this prestigious award. So I'd like to say congratulations to Anita Dunbar. Our final group has been in the Professional Honor Society program since its inception, 26 years. What an amazing commitment to our community and the industry. Congratulations to all 2021 Professional Honor Society honorees recognized today. Thank you for once again committing your professionalism and service as great role models to your fellow members and the community. We greatly appreciate all that you do each and every day. As was previously said, we are realtors 24/7. It doesn't change. Honorees will also receive an electronic copy of their certificate by email next week. If you want a printed copy of your certificate, just let us know and request it, and that can be done for you as well. Honorees who have reached a milestone year in the program will also receive a milestone pin. At this time, I would like to say I've greatly enjoyed this time with this morning. And Pam, I will turn the program over back to you. Thank you.
Thank you, Lisa. Honorees, please know once it is safe to do so, we will gather again and take a class photo like we used to do every year. It looks like that will be sooner rather than later, which is kind of exciting. I encourage each realtor on today's meeting to strive for the Professional Honor Society. It's a great professional and personal goal to achieve each year. To encourage more members to apply for Professional Honor Society, the Communications Master Group will be evaluating the form and overall process. Be on the lookout for an improved way to apply for this prestigious award later this year. Now on to the annual award presentations. CAAR has a well-respected program to honor members who contribute to the local industry in a way that enhances professional practice and boosts the reputation for all. Our first award is for the 2021 Affiliate of the Year. This award recognizes one of our affiliate members who goes the extra step to help further the goals and objectives for the association. CAAR members, their clients, and the community at large. Before we announce the recipient, please watch and hear what some members had to say about the 2021 Affiliate of the Year.
The recipient has been very supportive with our other real estate groups, always in attendance and very eager to be a part of the groups that CAAR has affiliation with.
While this honoree has only been with CAAR for 4 years, his impact is far greater than the limited time that he's been a member. I grew to know this honoree through his service on the Public Affairs Master Group, where he was a strong voice for property rights and reducing regulatory red tape.
The recipient has supported a lot of CAAR events, being part of our Green Building Latte and Learns, as well as taking part in the Public Affairs Committee, YPN, RPAC, and WCR.
I'm also keenly aware of his significant contributions to the Blue Ridge Home Builders Association, where he is the current membership chair, and to the Women's Council of Realtors, Blue Ridge, where he serves as a strategic partner. An exemplar of servant leadership, for the last 5 years, our honoree has served as treasurer of his Greene County Church.
Congratulations, Hal Johnson, on our Affiliate Member of the Year. I look forward to working with you this year with WCR, and this is a great achievement. Congratulations.
Hal Johnson, my friend and my future neighbor, you are the 2021 Affiliate of the Year. Congratulations.
Congratulations to our 2021 Affiliate of the Year, Hal Johnson. Hal, would you like to say a few words? We can take you off mute.
How's that? Unmute it now? There we go. Thanks so much. I really appreciate the award and the kind words, and I'm very honored and look forward to continuing my participation with CAAR. Thanks again.
Thank you, Hal. Our second award is Rising Star of the Year. The recipient of the Rising Star of the Year award is not only someone who has held an active salesperson license for 18 consecutive months or less, but a member who has adapted well to balancing sales volume and education with CAAR events and community involvement. Before we announce the recipient, please watch and hear what some members had to say about the 2021 Rising Star.
Early one morning several months ago, our recipient looked in the mirror and said, "I am still in the prime of my life. Our children are grown. I have lived abroad. I've had 2 successful careers. I am still full of energy. I'm a hard worker. I don't shy away from problem solving, and I love working with people."
The recipient joined our firm January 4th, 2021, and immediately joined CAAR to start their real estate education and orientation. The honoree had no prior experience with real estate as a business. This person was like a sponge, soaking up all the real estate knowledge available.
This recipient applied that skill set successfully, earning accolades from clients while serving on CAAR committees and work groups, and remaining active as a volunteer on community projects.
What stands out about the ethic of this recipient was their wanting to learn as much and as quick as possible to start producing and protecting the clients and letting them know how much they were cared about during the buying-selling process.
This realtor's interpersonal skills, dedication to learning, winning smile, and genuine desire to help others have made the real estate industry the right choice of a new professional career.
The recipient has worked extremely hard this past year with little complaining, going from a first sale of $265,000 to over $4 million in sales volume for the year demonstrates their dedication and commitment to real estate.
Michelle, we at Real Estate 3 are so proud of you as the award winner for CAAR's 2021 Rising Star. And I understand that I'm going to have to step up my game because the rumor in our firm is that you are angling for my office. Congratulations.
Michelle Gregory, I'm so honored to have been your mentor and that you were chosen for this award. You have had frustrations, late hours, learning from mistakes, but always with a smile, and frequently had me laughing when you asked, "Is this what realtors do?" I'm so proud of your accomplishments. Congratulations.
Congratulations to our 2021 Rising Star of the Year, Michelle Gregory. Michelle, would you like to say a few words? We'll take you off mute.
Hello, can you hear me?
Can you hear me? Can you guys hear
Yes,
me?
we hear you. We hear
Okay.
you.
First of all, I just want to say thank you to Pat and Teely for that little video. Made me tear up a little. I just also want to say thank you for giving me this award. I'm thrilled to receive it. And, you know, last year was such a great year for me, leaving, being a preschool teacher for many years and then coming into the professional real estate business was a big change, but something that I totally loved doing and I continue to love. And I just want to thank Teely and Pat for all their support. And literally, Teely was with me 24/7, and I'm serious about that. Always available for help and questions anytime I needed it. So thank you, CAAR, and I look forward to another exciting year this year. Thank you.
Thank you. Congratulations. Next up is the Sales Associate of the Year. Being a realtor who is a top sales producer and is active in our association and our community is a challenge in its own right. The CAAR Sales Associate of the Year also continues to improve his or her skills by engaging in continuing education and the achievement of professional designations. Before we announce the recipient, please watch and hear what some members had to say about our 2021 Sales Associate of the Year.
I have known the recipient for many years now, and I have had the privilege of serving as the pastor for his wife and their family. And so we first met, of course, through our church. And throughout that time, not only have I been able to serve as their pastor, but he has been such a great friend as well.
This past year was a really interesting one because he worked extremely hard, but a lot of it was to balance work and family life. So he was part of 50 transactions, which is a tremendous number for most agents. But this was actually during a year where he was trying to take a step back and plan a little bit more for his upcoming new family member. So we were so proud of him. It was awesome to see him focusing in all the right places.
The first word that comes to my mind is integrity. This person is the same person regardless of the company that he's in, whether he's leading a small group in his home, whether he's serving in our church, whether he's at the office, I'm sure whether he's showing a house, regardless of his setting, you know that you're going to get a consistent person. The second word that comes to mind is servanthood. He's always willing to serve, to give of himself so freely, whether that's offering a smile, a word of encouragement. And so it's not uncommon for me to even get a note in the mail just saying how much he loves and appreciates me and is grateful for my service as pastor of our church.
This year, in addition to all of the meetings and trainings and sales he was part of, he actually obtained his broker's license the first minute he was eligible to get it. So he spent 3 segments of 45-hour classes securing his broker's license and actually was licensed just a couple months ago.
Josh, congratulations on this award. It is well earned and deserved. Know that I love you, I'm with you and for you, and I'm so grateful for you, for your friendship, for the opportunity to serve as your pastor, for you, your beautiful family, and we love you and we are cheering you on. Great job and congratulations.
Congratulations, Josh. You are one of the best humans that I know and such an amazing friend. There is not a person I can think of that deserves it more than you, and we are so proud of you. Congratulations.
Congratulations to our 2021 Sales Associate of the Year, Josh White. Josh, would you like to say a few words? We'll take you off mute now.
Hey, good morning, everyone. Thank you so much. I'm so honored to have this opportunity and this award. I am so blessed by our team. I'm tearing up a little bit because I had no idea Pastor Gabe would be on there. And I'm grateful for our association and the great people that we have to work with day in and day out. Great job, panelists. And I couldn't have done this without the training of Sasha and Aaron and Kelly, and specifically thanks to my lovely wife, who was very pregnant most of last year and God bless her for putting up with real estate and our 3 kiddos now as well. So thanks to everyone, and really appreciate this business, and yeah, looking forward to what the future holds.
Congratulations, Josh. Our next award is the Realtor Ethics in Action. This award recognizes a realtor who is sought out by other realtors who are seeking advice and counsel on questions concerning the Code of Ethics and professional standards. Before we announce the recipient, please watch and hear what some members had to say about the 2021 Realtor Ethics in Action recipient this year.
The recipient has done a number of things, including courses, attended conventions, conferences, worked on designations, all to improve her professionalism.
The recipient is very involved on day-to-day basis with new agents. When they come into the company, they help them understand how we work, how we have to abide by the Code of Ethics.
The recipient has been involved in a number of community organizations and other endeavors, including AHIP, YPN, the Young Professionals Network. She's also been a leader in the Women's Council of Realtors. And one of my favorites, she has gotten involved with Habitat for Humanity locally.
So the recipient has always been above and beyond as far as the Code of Ethics goes. They were raised in a real estate family, so they learn from a very young age that not only do we have license law, but we also have ethics. And so we have to treat everybody the same, and we have to make sure that our clients understand the Code of Ethics. And she does this very well.
Amanda, I can't congratulate you enough. I look at your efforts both in the office and outside, your involvement with all the different groups here as well as CAAR, and I have to say again, congratulations. This couldn't go to a more qualified person.
Congratulations, Amanda. You work really hard with all of the agents and your clients, and I know you go above and beyond when it comes to ethics. You really deserve this.
Congratulations to Amanda Spigone, our 2021 Realtor Ethics in Action recipient. Amanda, would you like to say a few words? We're taking you off mute.
Yes, I just want to say thank you to everybody for this award. This is a great honor. I couldn't do it without the leadership I have around me. I grew up around real estate, did learn from an early age about treating others fairly and equally. But I just want to say thank you again. This is a great honor.
Congratulations, Amanda. Next, we'll announce the Realtor of the Year. This accolade is given to a realtor that exhibits faithfulness to the principles of organized real estate and to the rules and regulations of CAAR and to the NAR Code of Ethics. Additionally, the nominee should exhibit efforts to encourage good real estate practices and image among other real estate professionals as well as the public. Before we announce the recipient, please watch and hear what some members had to say about our 2021 Realtor of the Year.
Our nominee for the 2021 Realtor of the Year has been a model realtor inside and outside the firm with which the nominee is affiliated.
The honoree has all of the qualities of a leader: organization, dedication, and great spirit, to name a few.
In addition to being a managing broker, the nominee is known as the go-to fellow agent for assistance with technology, brokerage practices, and compliance issues. No request for advice or assistance goes unnoticed or unfulfilled.
The recipient is also a huge advocate of education and manages to find time to take all of the classes and attends all of the CAAR meetings.
Our nominee's volunteerism extends beyond the Realtor community to local charities and fundraising events. Many a mile has been walked and many a brush has dripped paint in an effort to support medical research or improve the home of a local resident.
Teely, I am very proud of you and happy to congratulate you on being the 2021 Realtor of the Year.
Teely, we are so proud of you. You are a well-rounded individual, a model realtor, and well-deserving of CAAR's 2021 Realtor of the Year Award.
Congratulations to Teely Jennifer, our 2021 Realtor of the Year. Teely, would you like to say a few words? We're taking you off mute.
Thank you, everyone. I am very honored to be a recipient of such a distinguished award. And thank you, Kim and Pat, for believing in me and thinking I deserve that. It's a great thing, and CAAR is a great association to be a volunteer of, and so I hope we get more and more of our agents to do this. Thank you, everyone. Have a great day.
Congratulations, Teely. Next, I'd like to hand the meeting over to past President Tom Woolfolk, who will recognize the CAAR Hall of Fame recipient.
Thank you, Pam. The very last responsibility of those who volunteer for CAAR leadership is to chair the past President's Council. In 2021, we met over Zoom, reminisced about life before COVID-19, and gave our perspectives and opinions about what was happening in the association. As immediate past president, it is my honor to chair this group, especially since we were tasked to evaluate and perhaps add an illustrious member to the CAAR Hall of Fame. Today, we honor a member who has served our association as a realtor for 48 years. Before we announce the newest honoree, please watch and hear what some members had to say about her.
This honoree has left their mark on the Charlottesville community in so many ways. Teaching as adjunct faculty at PVCC. She served in the Free Union Country School Board of Directors for many years. Volunteer for many years also for the Real Estate Weekly. She was also the treasurer. She was co-chair of the Westminster Canterbury of the Blue Ridge Board of Directors, and served with the Episcopal Church, just did so much work for them.
Our honoree has made significant contributions to the local real estate community. Probably the most outstanding has been in the areas of education, training, and mentoring agents. She's taught principles of real estate for over 40 years. She's managed 3 of our offices over her career, Charlottesville, and then as far flung as Livingston and Orange. And over that period of time, she's brought literally thousands of people into the business through her training and principles. She's also mentored generations of new realtors, getting them up and running.
This candidate is the ultimate professional. I think a big part of that is her mother was a realtor and instilled professionalism in her from day one. She was a member of, a charter member of WCR here at CAAR. Many agents throughout CAAR called upon her for contract and ethics decisions. Little known fact, she taught principles of real estate for over 40 years to many of CAAR's leading brokers.
She has worked her way through the committee system at CAAR, up to and including president of CAAR. She's also worked at both the state and the national level.
Congratulations, Barbara Mcmurray, on your entry into CAAR's Hall of Fame.
Barbara, congratulations. It's a pleasure to have worked with you for many, many years, and I hope that we'll work together for many years in the future. This is a great honor, and you're to be congratulated on a tremendous career.
Congratulations to our newest inductee in the Hall of Fame, Barbara Mcmurray of Montague, Miller and Company. Barbara, congratulations again. Would you like to say a few words? We
Yeah, I
will
would.
unmute your,
Yes.
yes.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm honored. I don't know what happened. I joke and say I had dark brown hair when I started out, but I'm honored. It's a wonderful way to make a living. I want to thank my Montague, Miller and Company family of many years, Percy Reeves, Pat Surrey, and Pam Drumheller. And I get to take a few parting shots, which would be to tell you that my pathway to professionalism was education. So I encourage you to keep learning, promote co-brokerage, and as a last thought, take care of yourselves. Work toward that balanced work and life arrangement, and exercise. Get out there, take care of yourselves, be healthy. And thank you all so much. I've enjoyed my time with everyone at CAAR. Thank you so much.
Barbara, thank you for those wonderful, wise words. And again, congratulations. Pam, I hand the meeting back to you.
Congratulations again to all of today's award recipients. Staff will be contacting you next week to coordinate your award photo opportunity. As we start to wrap up today's meeting, I encourage you to review the education flyers included in today's handouts. There are dozens of virtual and in-person education, certification, and designation classes being offered in the coming months. Take advantage of them. Don't miss it. Registration is available on the CAAR Education and Events calendar. Speaking of education, I want to congratulate Janice O'Hara and Joshua Tracy, who earned their Graduate Realtor Institute, or GRI, designation. What an accomplishment. Congratulations. To conclude this morning's meeting, I would like to welcome the following new Realtor members. In addition, I'd like to welcome the following new affiliate members. Thank you for joining this morning's meeting. I look forward to seeing you at our May general membership meeting, which will be held on Thursday, May 9th from 9 to 10:30 a.m. This GMM will be hybrid, so I can't wait to see many of you in person at the Hillsdale Conference Center. I hope everyone has a great day and happy St. Patrick's Day. This meeting is now adjourned.